Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a lovely new recording, really lovely, of Corelli Violin Sonatas Opus 5, featuring Rachel Barton Pine and friends on the CD label. Now, Corelli's violin sonatas are justly acclaimed and quite famous. There are 12 of them. And, Corelli was just the tidiest composer. He really was. Because in his lifetime, he published exactly 6 opera, or opus numbers. These are opus 5, as I mentioned. And they are 4, let's see, opus 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are trio sonatas. And the trio sonatas, that is for 2 violins and bass continuo with a harpsichord or a guitar or an organ or a something on the bottom and an extra cello or bass. Anyway, they're in 3 parts. That's why they're called trio sonatas. Not because they require 3 people, mind you, because they have 3 musical lines. And they're delightful, opera 1 through 4. They come in clumps of church sonatas and chamber sonatas. The difference is that a church sonata begins with a slow movement, usually, and features movements in contrapuntal forms, but no dance music, which would have been inappropriate for a liturgical setting. And they were used, supposedly, in actual, liturgical settings as musical interludes and things like that. They were supposed to keep you focused on your devotion, not on, partying. And then chamber sonatas are partying. They have dances and multiple movements, and they start with quick movements. They may not, it depends. Anyway, so there are bunches of those. Then we get these, and then as opus 6, we have his concerti grossi, the 12 concerti grossi. Now, these are divided up into church and chamber sonatas, 6 of each. It's all so wonderfully proportioned. And of course, there are some individual works and a little tiny group of trio sonatas, supposedly, that are authentic Corelli, but that were not part of his official life's work, that he shined and polished and prepared for publication before he died. But it's an amazing legacy. It's 72 pieces, right? 6 times 12. Yeah, 72 pieces of exquisite Baroque string music, which were enormously influential, with all other composers who came afterwards. They were all published in like the 1690s, somewhere around then. And boy, he was the model. He was a friend of Handel when Handel was there. In fact, he famously refused to play a note in the overture to Handel's oratorio La Resurrezione because it went higher than he thought the violin had any business going. His style was, in a way, classical, although he's a Baroque composer, but in terms of its poise, its polish, its balance, a little conservative in terms of its demands on violin technique. He was interested in melody and form and shapeliness and balance and structure and all those juicy musical qualities. Anyway, Rachel Barton Pine is a wonderful Baroque violinist. If you've been following her Baroque issues on CD, she's done quite a bit of stuff. She has a Baroque performance ensemble where they call Trio Settecento, or I don't know, they were called something like that. I don't remember. She mentions it in here. And I have all those other discs, which are just splendid. She has offers a wonderful combination of sort of, Baroque performance aesthetic in terms of, improvising ornaments and stuff like that, and using Baroque playing and bowing and singing and holding the instrument, somewhere else, and doing all the stuff that these Baroque people do. But she also has a thoroughly modern sensibility when it comes to timbre. She likes making beautiful sounds. She doesn't leave out vibrato to the extent of making the music sound painful, like you're skinning a cat. She knows what she's doing. Anyway, and all these people do. And this is a very, very creative presentation of the 5 violin sonatas, because you get, let me say the 5 violin sonatas, the Opus 5 violin sonatas, because what she does is she and her partners vary the continuo from sonata to sonata based on what she thinks the music requires. And this can be anything from, let us see. We have a cello and viola da gamba as the bass instrument. And then we have a positive organ and a harpsichord alternating on continuo, and an archlute, theorbo, or guitar in addition. So you have all of these possibilities to subtly alter the color of each of the sonatas. She also plays a viola da gamba, a viola d'amore, pardon me, a viola d'amore in the final sonata, which is actually just a set of variations on La Folia, which is a series, it's a harmonic pattern. It was called La Folia. And everybody used it back in the day, and Corelli used it most famously, probably. And she plays it on what she considers to be an instrument that's well suited to what the thing is doing, and it's a viola d'amore, and it's lovely. It's just lovely. So you have everything here. We have a list here of everybody who's playing. Instrumentation for each of the sonatas, and it ranges. It ranges from like the whole shebangy there, all these people, to just violin and one possible option, violin and harpsichord. There's one that's played with just the violin and the cello, which is really quite interesting, without like a more filled out continuo part here. Yes, that's number 20. Number 20 here. And there's, oh my goodness, there's just lots of these suckers. There's 24 of these, or 12 of them. Let me see, disc 2. No, there's 12 of them. What am I talking about? Of course. It's track 20. There we go, the Adagio. It's got just those two players. And she varies these things quite nicely so that you have plenty of variety in the sound. The allegros are lively, the adagios are songful and thoughtful, and the recording is absolutely first class. The main competition, I think, probably for Baroque Corelli, I think I have it sitting here, actually. Is it? Yeah, here it is. There we go. Here's some more on Lynn Records with the Avicen Ensemble, which is also very nice. It's a little bit thinner sounding, which isn't surprising, possibly, because they're maybe more Baroque. I don't know. Anyway, the bottom line is this is really, really just a terrific release of music that isn't as well known as it deserves to be, I think, possibly because the original instrument people make sounds that are a little bit annoying. Also because the modern people don't play it as often as they probably should. And it's just lovely music. So give it a shot. You'll enjoy it. I guarantee it. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.